In this video, we're going to be solving absolute value inequalities. So here we've got a couple examples, and what I want to start off saying is that if we remember when we were solving equations with absolute values, we remember that the inside could either be positive or negative, and we had to account for that. And so we're going to do something similar here, but because it's an inequality, we're going to do something a little bit different to make it a little bit easier on us. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to point out a little shortcut or hint to help you out, so that way you can solve the equation a little bit easier. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to notice this symbol right here. See how that's a less than sign? Less than. Now I know that there's not a D in the word less than, but a less than tells us that this is going to be an and compound inequality when we're solving it. Whereas over here on example B, we have a greater than sign, right? A great or than sign. And so when we have a greater than symbol, that's going to tell us that we're going to be solving an or compound inequality. And that's going to help us out a little bit. So what does this look like? Let's go back to example A. So here, we're going to have our x minus 5. We have our and. We're going to have our positive 2, which is going to bring that down. But we also need to have a negative 2. And now we're ready to solve this. So we'll add 5. Whenever you add to the middle, you have to add to both of the sides as well. And that's going to give us a 3 is less than x is less than 7. And that's going to be our solution. And so if I wanted to graph this, I would have a parenthesis at my 3 and a parenthesis at my 7, and then I would have a line connecting the 2. And that's our solution. Let's go ahead and let's venture over to example B and figure out what would we do for this or. So here we have the absolute value of x minus 5 is greater than 2. So we're going to take our x minus 5 and say, yep, that's greater than 2. But we also have to say that x minus 5 could be less than negative 2. So notice that each time we had to add that negative 2 in. But when we do it with an or, we have to change our symbol around. And so for right now, we're going to work out two problems. So over here on our left side, we'll add 5 to both sides, and that will give us that x is greater than 7. Then over here on our right hand side, we'll add 5 to both sides, and that will give us that x is less than 3. So what we're going to do for this or equation that we were writing is we're just going to write the word or in between them. And if I wanted to graph that, I would have an open parenthesis at the 7 and going away because it says x is greater than that. And I'd have an open parenthesis at my 3 going away from that because ors go away from each other. And this would be the solution. So it's really important to look and see, are you dealing with a less than or are you dealing with a great or? Because that's really going to drive how you work out your problem.